3. Baseball trick shots. Wait.
Hello everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we are gonna try to discuss a little bit about the upcoming tier 10 French heavy tank that is coming into the game and that Wargaming revealed in their latest trailer. So the tank showed in the trailer is the AMX M4 MLE54, a tier 10 French heavy tank which is pretty similar to the already existing AMX M4 1949, which is the tier 8 premium tank. This one is supposed to be a collectible, as Wargaming announced that they were not creating any new tech tree branch this year, and if it's the case, yeah, you are watching at another collectible tank, which is a little bit upsetting regarding the fact that on World of Tank PC, this tank is free. This tank is gonna bring some changes into the game simply because with this one you have the choice between two guns. One regular, which is a 120mm that is available on pretty much every single tank at tier 10, mostly T10, AMX50B, all these kind of tanks which are having 400 alpha damage, but you also have the possibility of taking a 130mm gun, which is going to increase the damage. Here it's 560 simply because I used World of Tank PC values, but if we compare it and we make it proportional to World of Tank Blitz, we should have something around 530. One important thing to add before going further, when I say you have the choice between the 120mm and the 130mm, both these guns have the same exact DPM, which means that it's only about what suits more your playstyle. For example, if we take the 120mm, you will have less alpha damage but a much better reload time. And if you take the 130mm, it's the opposite. You will have a high alpha damage gun, which will allow you to destroy more easily your targets, but you will lose a lot of reload time. Now that we talk about the alpha damage, let's talk about the gun handling, and here the AMX is doing really badly. As you can see, even if the aim time is quite good, 2.1 seconds for a tank that is supposed to have a 130mm gun, which is quite a high alpha damage for a heavy tank, you see that your gun dispersion when you move the tank is horrible. So I think the best advice I can tell you with this tank is you stay on your ground before shooting. You don't move while shooting, or else you're gonna miss pretty much every single one of your shells. Before going further, I want to tell you one last thing. Of course, when you're using the 120mm gun, you will have a better gun handling, and therefore I'm expecting a lot of players to actually play with the 120mm instead of the 130mm one. But we will see what the future is all about, because it's also possible that Wargaming decides to put only one gun on the tank, even if I don't think they will, but we never know. Now for the mobility, traditional French speed. Everything is great. I mean, the mobility overall is one of the best. Of course, we have a French tank, so we have the French speed. Nothing else to say. It's just a really great one. As you can see, it's working pretty much on every single one of terrains. It's a good one. So yeah, this tank is gonna go fast. It's gonna turn fast in pretty much every single situations you're gonna encounter. Now, for the last thing about this video, we are gonna check the armor profile, and as you can see, even if I did not show the armor profile yet, you can see how strong the tank frontal armor is, and yes, it is. It's really a big one, nearly 370mm at the front. At the little space here, you have a little bit less, 290mm, and you have the weak spot, which is not really a weak spot, at 260mm at the back. On the side it's 360mm, and the gun mantlet is quite big as well, but it seems like it's gonna be possible for people to actually penetrate the gun mantlet simply because you have 300mm. So if you're using maybe a medium tank that is shooting APCRs with calibrated shells, you should be able to go through that little space here, even if it seems quite hard to actually penetrate that, but we never know. Now for the rest of the turret, it's literally impossible to penetrate, and that's why the tank has two cupolas, which are quite big, even if it doesn't seem like it. But you can counter that simply because this tank has 8 degrees of gun depression, and when you're using the 8 degrees of gun depression, if you manage to use them completely, you only see this space here, and it's quite angled, at least a little bit more than it was previously. And if you manage to put your tank in all down in pretty much every single one of the situations by showing your turret only, you should be able to bounce everything, because here it becomes impossible to penetrate the tank. Now, for the rest and the side armor, it's paper. We already know that. Everybody's gonna go through with HE, especially on the sides of the hull. And the rear, I'm not even talking about that. It's literally paper. You can penetrate it just by punching it. Now, overall, the tank is, it's just like the AMX M4 1949. It's a tank that you don't want to angle. You don't try side scrape, because as soon as you try side scrape, as you can see, it's easy to penetrate you. You need to stay straight in front of your opponents. And that's why I think this tank should be newbie friendly, simply because you don't have anything else to do beside staying in front of your opponents without angling and trying some hull down as long as you can. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say about this tank for now. If you liked, subscribe and subscribe, like, and all that stuff. Personally, I'm expecting the tank to be a collectible, as I said in the beginning of the video, and I'm also expecting it to be a good tank in World of Tanks Blitz. I know a lot of people don't like it in World of Tanks PC, and they say the tank is literally outdated and paper. But I think we should do something great about this tank in Blitz, like it was the case for pretty much every single tank in this game. It's easy to make them work at tier 10, pretty much all of them. So I'm expecting this tank to be good, and I really hope it will, simply because I'm French, and seeing French tank being OP is something really satisfying. Thank you all for watching, and see you soon for a new video, guys.